Okay, good afternoon, aloha everybody. How are you doing? Everyone hear me okay? Alright, couple of things in the event of emergency during a flight occurs. Either side of the doors become the emergency exit door, so take a moment to locate your door handle. Neil, you have two handles in your door, okay? One by the elbow, the other one by left knee. The door should be open the door in the event of emergency, okay? And so that on your left knee below the window, there's tiny handle should be located right by the your left knee. Okay, below the window, okay? In the event of emergency only, okay? 10, you got the simple one, just push it down, pop the doors open, okay? Right hand corner of my seat, where my finger is pointing down, that's where the location of fire extinguisher is in case of fire, okay? And the microphone in front, there's two in the back, 1 and 2, okay? Around the airport, we're not allowed to speak to each other, but after we exit the airport, then should be able to do it, okay? What you need to do is press this button, bring it to the mouth, and you can speak to each other, okay? And everybody else will be able to hear you, so be careful what you're saying. This is the interior camera, and everybody's in the picture, so if you want to say hello to yourself, go ahead. Okay. Okay, after takeoff, due to a changing of direction of the usage of the airport here, we're going to be proceeding to the Pearl Harbor first. And till this morning, first flight, we're not allowed to fly over the Pearl Harbor area, but since this morning, about 10 o'clock or so, they allowed some of the helicopters, some of the aircraft to fly in the areas of Pearl Harbor. So, but still, altitude is kind of limited to a certain altitude. Currently, this is the 14th busiest international airport in the United States. And off to the left, runway, close to the ocean water. That particular runway was completed about 24 years ago. Part of the purpose was the emergency runway for the space shuttle program over the Pacific. So any kind of emergency situation that may occur on a space shuttle may have a chance to run on the runway there. Coming up ahead, right just west of Honolulu International Airport, is the Hickam Air Force Base. Coming up off to the right is the Pearl Harbor. Okay, coming up off to the right-hand side, Navy Marine base is right on the deck, deck right here off to the right, and the white structure coming up off to the right is the Arizona Memorial, and a Fort Island in the middle of the Pearl Harbor. Also, the battleship that you see right there off to the right of us, that is the USS Missouri. 1945 in the base of Tokyo Bay, Japan. Japanese surrendering surrenders of World War II was signed on the decks of USS Missouri. And off to the left, this is the channel, which is only one entrance and exit of the Pearl Harbor. In the morning of December 7, 1941, there were 97 U.S. naval ships right here in the harbor. 7:55 in the morning, total of 350 out of 353. Japanese aircraft made it here to the Pearl and began to attack. After the little more than 2 hours of attack was over, 18 out of 97 U.S. naval ships were heavily damaged. 3 out of 18 ships became disabled. There were USS California, Utah, and the Arizona. Today, 2 out of 3, which is the USS Utah, which is right here on the left-hand side of the Fort Island. You see the long pier? Just right by this side of the pier, there's a small shipwreck showing just a bit above the surface of the water. That is one of the sunken ships, USS Utah. 54 crew members are killed in the morning. A total of 2,341 soldiers were killed in the Pearl Harbor. And today, nearly half, 1,177 bodies are still tombed with the USS Arizona. Those ships that you see here on the right-hand side, those are out of commission, as you can see, pretty old ships of the Navy. And off to the left, there's another runway there. That is called the Kalilo Airport, former Navy air station called the Barbers Point. All the homes that you see here, about 35 years ago, Most of the areas are sugarcane. And the left and below, you see the smokestack right here? This used to be a sugar mill. Okay, mountain range off to the left, known as the Waianae. First formation of the island of Oahu, which formed about 3 million years ago. This one here off to the left. And another mountain range off to the right-hand side, that will be the second formation of the island of Oahu, known as the Oahu mountain range. Oahu mountain range were formed about 2.5 million years ago. Between these two mountains used to be completely different islands, and due to the continuous activities of volcano, those two islands are connected to each other and became single island of Oahu. Today, total land area of a little more than 600 square miles of the island of Oahu became the second oldest and the third largest island of the Hawaiian Islands. We got 7 other sister islands in the state of Hawaii. This is the most populated island, so that's why the name is called the Oahu, which means gathering place in Hawaiian language. 820,000 out of 1.2 million of state populations are located here on the island of Oahu today. At this time, the routes that we're flying, this is the second group of 180 Japanese aircraft. We're approaching the island from the right side of the aircraft, approximately 270 nautical miles northeast of the island of Oahu. That's where the attack force of 33 Japanese ships, including 6 aircraft carrier, were located there. Within 2 hours, they launched a total of 353 planes. And this is where the second group of 180 came in and attacked the airfield coming up ahead of us, Wheeler, and also the Schofield Army Barracks, and continued to the Pearl Harbor. And the first group of 173 went to the northeast of the east routes and attacked the Pearl Harbor as well. Left and below, these are all pineapple. And all the homes that you see off to the right-hand side, 30 years ago, was all nothing but a sugarcane and the pineapple. Throughout the year, the weather here on the island, similar to summer, so every day somewhere in this field, different locations, they're either planting or harvesting the pineapple. Okay, this is the Wheeler Air Force Base, but currently used by the United States Army. Left and below, United States Army. Coming up on the right-hand side across the runway is the United States Army National Guard. Also to the left-hand side is the Schofield Army Barracks. Highest point of the island of Oahu is to the left of us, a little golf ball looking structure up on the top of the mountain called the Mount Ka'ala, 4,080 feet above sea level. And also the town off to the right is the town of Wahiawa. It's kind of an old plantation town of Wahiawa. Today, majority of the people that works at the plantations are from Philippines, so a lot of the Filipino community that are located in these areas of town. And coming up on the left-hand side below, small rectangular shape of grass area with the trees that grows in the middle. That is for the ladies. It's known as the royal birthplace. That's where the royal queens were used to give birth, right here on the left. Very much sacred place for the ladies and the royal families, so pineapple companies are now allowed to develop this tiny section as a pineapple, as you can see. Okay, Neil, coming up ahead of us, the old pineapple pavilion. Also, they built this large pineapple maze about a couple of years ago, and they're claiming this is the largest pineapple maze in the world. Okay, it's going to be on the left-hand side first. After the left, I'm going to turn back to the right-hand side as well. And some of the brown soil area, they're kind of preparing for the another new pineapple to be able to plant on those areas. Okay, coming up on the left-hand side, in the middle of the rectangular maze, will be the shape of the pineapple. You see it? And straight ahead, slowly off to the right-hand side. Area that they're planting the pineapple out there, and also the couple of equipment on the green section. That is the area that they're harvesting the pineapple there also. Left and below, just about a month ago, they finished this area, planting the new plants of the pineapple. So they're going for the first pineapple. The first pineapple only takes about 2 years to be able to harvest the first pineapple. After that, every single year, up to about a fourth pineapple capable of making it. But the size of the pineapple from the third one becomes very small, so normally within 3 years, they picked 2 pineapples from the single plants. Off to the right-hand side, Ken. The area below us, just about a month and a half ago or so, maybe close to 2 months ago, they completed the harvest in this section here. Well, the sugarcane normally takes about 18 to 22 months to be able to harvest the sugarcane. Also requires lots of water. Just to produce about 1 pound of the sugar, the average usage of the sugarcane will be about 10 sugarcanes. And just to grow 10 sugarcanes, they spend about 240 gallons of water. That's equivalent to about 1 ton of water is needed for, which is 1 pound, which is about 450 grams of sugar. They require to have about 10 sugarcane to make 1 pound or 450 grams of sugar. History of the sugarcanes goes back to about 155 years, started on the island of Kauai. Little town off to the left is called the town of Haleiwa, which is also the surfing town of Haleiwa. And off to the left-hand side, you're looking at almost west half of the North Shore. And coming up ahead will be the Waimea Falls Park. Tim and David, keep your eyes on the right hand below you. In the gulch, there's a couple of thousand species of the tropical plants that grows in this Waimea Falls Park. And they do have a small waterfall coming up on the right hand side first. Since the new owner took over the park, I think this little shore, which is a professional diver used to climb on top of the waterfall and dive into the water, little pool down there. I think to terminate on that performance. Left-hand side, Waimea Bay, and right-hand corner of the valley, which is the little up on the hillside. There's a couple of cars on the side of this rectangular shape of dark brown color. This is the Heiau, which is the Hawaiian cemetery. This is all built with the lava rock. So anytime you visit in the Hawaiian cemetery, what you have to do, you have to be careful that taking the rocks out of the cemetery, which causes the bad luck. So a lot of people did that, and then they found out a little difficult way. So off to the right, almost straight line of the beach is the Banzai Pipeline. At the end, small curved-in section, that'll be the Sunset Beach. There you can see a couple of guys right at the edge right there. A couple of surfers. There, coming up on the left-hand side, Banzai Pipeline and the Sunset Beach. To the right is the Waimea Bay. In the mountains, in the valley, there are approximately 300 different kinds of trees and 60 to 65 different types of ferns that grows in the mountains. And the Hawaiian Islands, most of the islands are kind of luckily enough that we don't have much of wild animals that harm the people, like snakes or bear. So it is a kind of a safe place to enjoy the mountain hiking. Just a few wild pigs and wild goat that I've been seeing in the mountains. That's about it. That's why I used to drop some hunters on the top of the mountain, and those guys just spend a couple of days, come back with a couple of pigs or sometimes goat that they bring it back. Anybody made a reservation with us yesterday? We did. It was pretty bad, huh, yesterday? Now, a friend of mine, he was flying with the local electric company yesterday in that weather, and he came back. He told me that don't take passenger out there. It's pretty bad. He doesn't, he didn't have to tell me because I used to do that work there before, so I know the situation, especially on the other side of the mountain. Even today, once we get to the other side, it might have a little turbulence still. Normally, the wind directions are coming from the other side of the mountain, northeast to the southwesterly direction, which we call it the trade wind. So the other side of the mountain is normally the smoother side of it. But since this afternoon, the wind shifted to the southerly wind to the north direction. So once we get to the other side, somewhere along the ridge line might have a little turbulence. The old Army guys, when we used to do a training here, one time this chopper had a little problem up here, and then they made an emergency landing. Everybody's okay, except helicopter itself. So they left the wreckage right here. You see it? It's a Huey. Okay, from North Shore to this is the northeast coastline of the island. Further off to the left, a little village known as the Kahuku, Laie, which is the location of the Polynesian Cultural Center. Up ahead, Aula and Ka'ava coming up on the right-hand side as well. Okay, Tim and David, coming up on your side of the window first. This is the tallest waterfall here on the island, known as the Sacred Falls. The height of the waterfall is about 1,700 feet from top to the bottom. I have a little up against the sunlights, huh? Here you go, Tim. Did you get it? Right below us, actually, a hiking trail located below us. People used to hike into it. Unfortunately, after the landslide accident that occurred here about 4.5 years ago, Mother's Day, 8 people out of 50 got killed here. So since then, this particular hiking trail has been closed. And some of the farmland that you might be seeing here on the right-hand side, those farmland are receiving the water from the bottom of the mountain. It's fresh water, rainwater that kind of purified it through the soil, and comes down to the bottom of the mountain. And the old Chinese immigrant built the large water tunnel. And from the water tunnel, through the bottom of the valley, there's a stream. Water comes down to it, and they're receiving those waters here. Okay, from the Ka'ava, the Sacred Falls to Punahou, and this is the Kahana Valley. And our next one will be the Ka'ava Valley, famous filming location of the movies of monster movie, Godzilla, as well as the famous movie, Jurassic Park, were filmed in the same valley. And also the Bruce Willis and Nicolas Cage, they came here, and they did their movie, and the same location too. And who knows, you might find some footprint of monster Godzilla. But check it out, huh? And up ahead, other side of the mountain, there's a tiny pointy island there. That's called the Chinaman's Hat Island. Beyond that, distance away, tiny flat island distance away, that is the Gilligan's Island. Left that directions. Okay, slowly, turning right to left. Okay, up ahead, you're looking at the Chinaman's Hat Island. And over the peninsula, kind of a Marine Corps Air Station. And distance away, tiny flat island, kind of a dark island there. That is the Gilligan's Island. This is the Jurassic Park valleys of Ka'ava. And this is all private land, by the way, owned by this ranch on the other side of the mountain wall off to the left of us, known as the Koalo Ranch. Do you see the people riding the ATV down there? That's all part of the tour that they had. And all this down below is all cattle. Okay, a little closer to the Chinaman's Hat Island off to the right. And distance away, we're looking at the Gilligan's Island and beautiful Kaneohe Bay. Then up ahead, little island there, that is the actual Gilligan's Island. That's where the most of the Gilligan's Islands are filmed, if you're familiar with that show. Straight ahead, there's the lowest part of the ridge line called the Nuanopali Pass. Last battle site of first king of the Hawaiian island, known as the King Kamehameha I, fought the last battle against the chief of Island Oahu in that little pass. And the highway and the tunnel is called the Pali Highway and the Pali Tunnel. Okay, you can see that some of the visitors drive up here, observing the view of the left-hand side. Nu'uanu meaning cool in Hawaiian, and the pali stands for a cliff in Hawaiian language. 1795, this is where the King Kamehameha I fought the last battle against the chief of Island of Oahu. After he defeated the chief of Island of Oahu, he became the first king of the Hawaiian Islands. And most of the Japanese airplanes, after they attacked the Pearl Harbor, they took these two passes, Nuuanu Valley and the Kalihi Valley, that the first one that we just passed in. And then, to the left, a couple hundred miles, that's where the carrier were located, so they're straight back to the carrier. And this below us, this is the Maunawili Valley. Another part of the scene of latest movies of Bruce Willis, known as the Tales of Sound, were filmed right down here too. Off to the left is the Mount Olomana, another popular hiking trail that we have. On the other side of the mountain of Olomana, there's airfield. That'll be the Bellows Air Force Base here. And see, you can look down here. You see the little line that goes across right on top of the ridge. You can look on the left-hand side as well. You see it right there? That's all hiking trail. Off to the right is the Hanauma Bay and crater coming up off to the right. That is the latest extinct volcano that we have, known as the Koko Crater. Last activity occurred about 16,000 years ago. And straight ahead, we're looking at the island called the Manene, which means Rabbit Island. You're looking at the Waimanolo Beach, Kailua Beach, over the peninsula, Kaneohe Marine Corps Air Station. And the left hand below, Tim, David, there's a couple of estate right next to the beach, one of them, right next to that seawater pool filled with the lava rock right hand below you. That's the Magnum and PI estate. And further off to the right is the Sea Life Park and the Makapu Lighthouse. And right hand below, right next to the seawater pool, that's the Magnum estate. Okay, slowly reversing the view. Okay, Hanauma Bay coming up off to the right, very popular and the recommended swimming and snorkeling areas of the island. And left-hand side, little beach, that's the sandy beach, and the small parking lot, that is the Halona blowhole. Depends on how the wave gets into the whole area and shoots out the water. It's called the blowhole here. This is the east shoreline of the island. Hanauma Bay to the right. If you go to the Big Island of Hawaii and take the helicopter tour, they take you to this big event called the pool wall, just like this. Due to yesterday's strong wind and strong current, some kind of breeze came into the bay, so they need to do a little cleanup. That's why they closed this bay today. Normally, once a week, every Tuesday, is the day that they close for the public. Name Hawaii means a new land, and the Kai stands for ocean. So most of the land here is a new land, which is a landfill. Multi-million-dollar homes off to the left, yeah. Average about a $5 to $10 million. Due to a little choppy water's a little milky here, but normally on a trade wind day, water is just gorgeous here. That's why a lot of people come to this area to enjoy the water activities, as well as the Hanauma Bay. Okay, up ahead you're looking at the Diamond Head Crater, elevation of 734 feet above sea level. Just about 1 million years ago, Diamond Head became the extinct volcano. Okay, Waikiki off to the left, currently about 100 hotels, 60 condominiums, population 12,000 versus the 20,000 visitors who spend on a vacation here in Waikiki. And coming up off to the right-hand side, the University of Hawaii, Manoa campus, where the baseball stadium and the Silver Dome is, halfway into the valley. This is called the Manoa Valley. Waikiki, due to, once upon a time it was all swamp here. That's why it's a very poor location for draining the water after the heavy rain. To prevent from that flooding, they built this Arawai Canal, but still not much of help. So most of the old hotels after the heavy rains, most of the parking lot is located below the underground basement, right? So water, cars all comes out with the sand and the water. So the new structures are all built above the ground. And coming up ahead, another crater, Punchbowl National Cemetery of the Pacific. And on the left of the Punchbowl crater, high rises, financial district, downtown Honolulu. Okay, Punchbowl National Cemetery of the Pacific here to the left. 75,000 years ago, this was the another active volcano. Apparently became a national cemetery of the Pacific, and about 35 to 36,000 ex-soldiers and limited families are buried here at the Punchbowl crater. Left and below, square rooftop with a hole on the rooftop. That is the state capitol building. You see the runway that two of the fighter jets are landing outside of airport. That particular runway, we can mention it earlier, emergency runway for the space shuttle program over the Pacific. Aloha Tower Marketplace and Aloha Tower with the tower with the clock on it off to the left. You see the right hand side? This is the longest one, that's the second longest. This is how the airplane landed on the runway. I'm not supposed to do this, but nobody says anything, so. There's an airplane coming from behind us and requested to land on this runway instead of that one. You see the three pair of lights? The first one is white, right? The second one is kind of amber. This is the right angle to land. All of them are red. You watch. If I come down lower, it's going to change to all red. That means your airplane is too low. You have to climb. You see it start changing the color? Okay, everyone, we just got a clear by the top for the landing, so I'd like to take this time to thank all of you. Find us this afternoon. Mahalo nui loa and ahiho. After landing for safety, please remain seated. Ground crew will approach helicopter and escort you back to the lounge. While exiting helicopter, please watch your steps and watch your head. If you wish to take a couple pictures, more than welcome to do so. Just remain in the yellow circle area. It would be safe to take a couple pictures.